Hey, my creators. Today we are going to go into Midjourney and we're going to create some AI images. And then we're going to take those AI images. I'm going to show you how to clean them up. And then we're going to upload them into Canva. And we're going to create some beautiful clip art using those very same images. So, are you ready? Let's go.
I keep it real, simple, and easy to follow. No fluff, just real stuff. That's the motto. Take your time, step by step. Let it flow. You already got it in you, now you know. Are you ready? Let's go, let's go.
All right, my creators. So I'm over here on Midjourney and I have a prompt here that I like, and I'm going to read it out loud. Beautiful illustration of an African American woman with oversized afro hair, wearing large blue jeweled statement earrings and red lipstick, smiling, holding her face up to the camera. She is dressed in black attire with colorful jewelry, wearing big, bright blue, thick-framed, oversized reading glasses. The background color should be light with a 3D effect. This digital art style will create an attractive portrait that showcases her fashion sense and vibrant personality. Now, two things I want to do. I want to change a few things in here because I've used this prompt before, so I want something a little different. So instead of large blue jeweled statement earrings, I'm going to say large red. Okay, and red lipstick. We're going to change her attire to red. Let's say leather. Red leather with, I'm going to say gold jewelry. Let me make these glasses red, bright red. So I'm just editing my prompt. The background color should still be light. I'm going to say white with the 3D effect. Okay. We'll leave everything else basically the same. I think maybe I'm going to change her hair. Her hairstyle is in a messy bun of braids. And I'm going to add the aspect ratio in there. I'm going to make it square. So I'm just going to say 10 to 10. All right, and so now I'm going to submit it and we should get results very shortly. All right, my creators, so here are the results. And I've made the screen larger because I know some of you are looking at it on your phone. I try to remember that so that I can make sure that you're able to see it. But I do recommend that you watch my videos on a tablet or even a television. But if you are on the telephone, I get it, I understand it. And so try to make it a little bigger so that you can see better. But here are the results. They're all great. I think I like this one, the third one, the best. So I'm just going to right click on here. And I'm actually going to upscale it just a little bit. You don't necessarily have to because in Canva, you can upscale your image as well, but it does just, make it start off with a better resolution. And once it upscales it, I'm then going to download that image onto my computer, and then I'm going to upload that image onto Canva. So it's almost complete here, 16%. I am just amazed at AI nowadays. I mean, I'm a tech geek and I love stuff like this. And so it just never ceases to amaze me all of the different results and the products that you can create with AI. I just absolutely love it. All right, so here is the image and it's been upscaled. So now I'm going to right click on it and I'm just going to save this image right to my desktop. And then we're going to go over into Canva and we're going to upload that into Canva. All right, my creators, so we are on Canva and this is the Pro subscription. That's the account type that I have. And we're going to just create a page. So on the left side here, I'm clicking on create and I'm going to go down to custom size and I'm going to choose the units as inches. And we're going to do a 12 by 12. But since I've recently done that, it is already here, so I could click on here. If you don't see the size that you want already down here, that means you have not used that size recently, so you would just type it in here, the width and the height. But since it's here, I'm just going to choose 12 by 12, and Canva is going to give us a new workspace, and you can see the workspace is right here. All right, my creators, now I have uploaded the image right here under images. It's over to the left, kind of towards the bottom of the screen. And I'm now just going to click on it and it appears right here on the workspace screen. Now, what I like to do until I am completely satisfied, meaning that I've made sure that the image that I've uploaded has a transparent background, I like to keep my workspace as a light color, like a gray or something. That way I can tell that any images that I put on here, I can tell if it has a background on it and perhaps I need to remove that background. If I keep this as white, I won't necessarily remember that I need to change this background, okay? So let me just click on the workspace and we're going to change that to a light color gray. Now I'm going to click on the image and now this is only a pro feature. So I'm going to choose BG Remover at the top here, the second option. And when I do that, it's going to remove the background of the image. And Canva has one of the best background removers I've ever seen. I mean, it removes everything very clean and very neatly, okay? Because remember, when you download images from Midjourney, even if you tell Midjourney don't put a background on it, there's going to be a background on it. Just like in Canva, when you upload images, even if you upload it with no background, when you download it, it's going to have a background on it unless you have a pro subscription and you have the ability to download it with no background, okay? But anyway, I digressed a little bit. Let's get back into here. So here's our image, and remember, ignore the gray background. That's just there for us to work on. So I want to start adding some text and some other elements around her. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to close out this color and I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to scroll up on the left hand side. I'm going to go to elements and I'm going to type in red flowers. I'm going to put something red in the back here. Let's see. And by the way, I've not done this at all, so this is live. I'm doing this right here with you guys, so we're making this together. So let me click on this one, and by the way, some of the elements are also pro feature. That's for new people who are just learning. If anything has a crown on here, you cannot use it for free, okay? So I like this. I'm going to perhaps make it somewhat smaller. I'm not sure what we're going to do with this yet, but I do like it a lot. I'm going to duplicate it, and I think I'm going to put it on this end, and I'm going to flip it around like that, and then we're going to click on her, click on the three dots, go down to layer, and we're going to bring her to the front. Okay, so now she's sitting on top of these flowers here. I'm going to duplicate this flower again, and I'm going to kind of rotate it. See this rotating wheel here on the side? It's letting you know how many degrees it's turning. All right, so I'm going to turn it some, and I'm going to make it smaller, and let's duplicate this again. Let's put it over here, and then let's pull her up some. And because she has like gold, see this gold around her, I'm going to add some gold elements. So let me type in gold slash, and let's scroll down. I have a favorite here, and people who follow me, you know, I love this one piece of gold, and I think I have it in my favorites folder, but I'm just scrolling down to see if I can find it. I don't find it here, so let me just go to my favorites folder, and I'll find that particular item that I'm looking for. All right, so I found the item I was looking for, and if you've been with me for a while, you know that I love this little gold slash bar right here. This is one of my favorites because, by the way, side note, you can change this color of this bar, and that's what I really like about that. But right now, we're just going to keep it gold. Excuse me. All right, so we've got our little gold bar here, and I want to play around with the layering a little bit. So I'm going to click on this one right here, this red flower, and I want to, let's see, it's too big because it's up there. I want to make it smaller, and this one too, let's move this out of the way for a bit. This one too is a little too large. Let's put this back down here. We're going to bring this back down. What I want to do is click on this one, click the three dots, choose layer, and let's bring that to the front. And let's do the same thing with this one. All right, click on the three dots, and we're going to bring that to the front. Let's pull this back down. So now we have these two on top. All right, and they don't have to be perfectly symmetrical. In fact, I like them kind of oddly kind of thrown in there a little bit. All right, and I think maybe the same with this one. Let's kind of throw this off a little, pull it over. There we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we are going to add some text. And when we do that, I think I want to move her over somewhat. So let's move her over towards the end, and we're going to put the text on the left hand side. And because we're doing that, we are going to, let's see if we can stretch this out some. I'm grabbing the ends and I'm making it a little larger, and we might have to make this smaller depending on how much text we're going to put on here. Okay, so now on the keyboard, I'm just hitting a T because that brings up a text box, and we're going to type something in here. You can type whatever you want. Always be your best. Okay, and by the way, those of you who have joined my YouTube membership, you will have this design in your in the membership tabs, okay, on the membership posts. So you will be able to change this around and put in here whatever you want. Okay, so let's see if I should do 4. I'm just kind of manipulating the text a little bit before we decide what font we want. I don't want this font, it's too plain, so I'm going to click in the font box and I'm going to change the font to something, let's see, Chunky Student. I like that. We're going to make this bigger. We'll leave it like that, but what we are going to do, we're going to click on this T, which gives you some advanced settings, and we can change the line spacing. I want the lines to be closer together, so I am choosing this. Okay, now the next thing I want to do, now I can make this text a little larger. And the next thing I want to do some effects on the text. We're going to do some outlining of the text and changing some of the color on the text to make it just kind of stand out a little more. All right, my creators. So like I said, we're going to change this text, but also I think with the image of the woman, we're going to do something here as well. We're going to actually add a shadow behind her. Sometimes, you may want a little bit of depth behind your image. So we're clicking on the woman, and we're going to click on the edit on the top left-hand side, and we're going to go over here on the left under shadows, and I'm going to choose glow, because I think I want the entire image to be with a little shadow behind it. So I'm going to click on see all. That way it gives me all of the tools that I need. So I still have glow right here chosen, and you can play around with the blur amount. So as I'm moving this, I want you to watch the image. You see how the image size changes depending on the blur effect around the image. Okay, so you can choose how much blur you want around the image. You can choose the size of the outline, how large you want it or how small you want it. And you can also choose the intensity. So the more intensity, the color becomes a little more defined, like here, okay? So if I want to change the blur amount, like I said, you can change that to whatever you want. I think I want it pretty defined. So I'm going to kind of tone the blur down. Well, let's kind of put it in the middle, okay? I want the intensity high, and the size, this is the size of the actual outline. Let's put it to let's put it right here to, let's go down a little bit more, maybe 50, let's see. Okay, we'll put it at 55, okay? So once you're satisfied with that, you can just click the X. And there are different options that you can play around with. So you have the template, and so you can play around with it, okay? So let me close out that. And now let's click on the text itself, all right? Now with the text, we can kind of do the same thing with an outline. So I'm going to choose effects here, and I'm going to make an outline around the text. And like the black on the woman, the border there, I'm going to make the border on here black as well. And now the font itself is black, so we're going to change that. So now while this text is still highlighted, we're going to click on the text color, and we're going to change the text color, and let's make it red, like her jacket, okay? And if you don't like that red necessarily, you can go into the plus sign here, and you can either move this around to change it till you get to the red that you want, or there's a little icon here like a dropper. When you click on this, if you go over to your page, just kind of point to the color that you want the letters to be, and it'll change it. You see how that was a subtle change? It changed it just a little bit, but you can change it to whatever you want. So I'm clicking back on the pick a color, little droplet, and now I'm going to make it, let's make it gold. See? So you can make it whatever color that you want, okay? But I'm going to undo that because I think I want to keep it in red, at least for now anyway, okay? So now we pretty much have our image. I'm just cropping down a little bit her image somewhat, and I'm going to make her a little larger. We've got some room to kind of play with her, so we can make this larger, and this will be ideal on a mug or a t-shirt, or even like some girly wall art, or even a book cover. This would be fantastic. This is perfect for that, okay? So now we have our image. Now, if you wanted less of the floral stuff down here, you could just move this down, move her down, make her larger. and play around with the text some, whatever you want to do. That's what I love about Canva. It's so easy to just kind of play around with everything on the page. It's so easy to do. I love it. And if you wanted to add some other things over here, like I could go into elements if I wanted, and I could type in gold specs and see what comes up. And if I wanted to add something over here on the side, I could do that. Like if I clicked on here, I could do that. Let's make this smaller. It's kind of like a celebratory type look. So it depends on, how much flash you want on it. Some people like it plainer. I'm just one of those folks that's like, I want all the bells and whistles. The more, the merrier for me. I love colors. How about you? Let me know in the comments. Do you like a lot of pizzazz and flash, or what? How do you like your designs? Okay, I'm making that smaller. And then I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to put it down here. So again, we can use the wheel to kind of turn it. I don't want it on her face, but I want it in the picture. So you can duplicate this as many times as you want. Click this button here. Okay, we've duplicated it some more. We can turn it. So you see, you have a lot of options. Depends on how fancy, you want it. So let's turn this somewhat. All right. Okay. So I think I am done. I love that. I am very, very satisfied with this. We have a perfect image here. This is gorgeous. So again, don't forget, if you have my YouTube membership, you will have this design available for you. I may not have the text here because I want you to add your own. You've got to make it your own design, but you will have the base of this image. You will definitely have the woman and some of the other elements on here. All right, my creators, so now all that's left to do is to download your design. Now, you can, if you want, click on the workspace itself, the full workspace, and you can either hit the delete key and it will remove that gray background, or you can just click on the wheel, the color wheel up here, and you can change the background to white. Either way, just know there is still a background on here, okay? So if you just downloaded this image, and especially if you do not have a pro subscription, it is going to download it with a white background. You cannot get around that. And this is such an intricate design that even if you downloaded it with a background and then uploaded it to some other program that's a background remover, I guarantee you it will not remove the background smoothly. You're going to have little jagged edges of, white stuff around her hair and, just different places. So it really is beneficial to have the Canva Pro, okay? So to download, you would click on share, you would click on download, you would choose PNG, and you want the highest resolution, which is 3. Okay, that'll make your resolution very clear for printing. Now, sometimes when you download at a 3, if you upload it, let's say you're adding this in Printful or Printify, sometimes it'll say the resolution is too high, right? Because sometimes, and remember, we upscaled the image in Midjourney originally, right? So this image itself is already very high scaled, okay? So when we upscale it even more, it might take it to like 600 or 800 or something like that. So it might be too high, okay? If that happens, you just come back into Canva and you downscale it to maybe 2.5, or I would never recommend anything lower than 2. And whichever number you choose, it doesn't really this doesn't really determine the resolution number. This just determines if the resolution is going to be higher or not, okay? So whatever number you choose, when you download it, you want your print provider to tell you that the resolution is high and that it's accepted. You do not want anything that says your resolution is too low, because if you do that, if you are selling print-on-demand products and it's a physical product, which are print-on-demand, it's going to come out really janky looking. It's going to be horrible. So this is I cannot stress it enough how important that is. Have you ever gone somewhere or bought something and it looked clear on screen, and then when you got it in person, it looked really, murky and smudgy and just not clear? That's because they did not have a high enough resolution, okay? So you want, like I said, to make sure this is between 2 and 3, and you want to choose transparent background and of course a PNG, and then you just want to download, and Canva is going to show you down here that it is currently downloading. All right, my creators, I'm so glad you joined me today. You know that I love creating, especially using Canva, and I love sharing, what I've learned how to do, and I love trying to help you do the same thing. So I hope that you got something from this video today. If you like my designs, if you are a member in my YouTube channel, you will have access to the template links, right? So when you open those template links, you'll have the base of the design. Now, you may not have all of the same words and elements that I've added, because the whole point is for you to try to do something yourself, right? But you've learned what I've shown you. You can go back, look at the video, and add other elements and things to make the image your own creation. Make your own clip art for your t-shirts or your print on demand or your digital products that you sell. You cannot sell the images as they are, but you are able to use the images to create your own, okay? So let me tell you the difference between the YouTube membership and when you buy images on my website. Now, when you buy the images on the website, they're individual images. Sometimes I give a discount, but they're individual images. They don't necessarily have words or anything on them. They're just the plain images. The benefit for that is if you do not have a pro Canva account, when you download those images from the website, they don't have a background. They are transparent PNG files that you can use wherever Adobe or wherever, whatever program allows you to upload PNG images without a background, okay? When you upload it to Canva, it's going to automatically put a background on it, okay? But I think when you do Adobe and other programs, it'll just load it as a PNG without a background. So that's the benefit of getting it from the website, okay? So either or, I will leave a link in the description for you. And remember, the more we create, the less we hate, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget, please do me a favor, like, comment, share, subscribe. Check out my Facebook group as well. I'll leave that link in the comments. See you next time.